No, but that's crazy, bro. I mean, I'm sure you've had some crazy stories just like that. You know. But no, so what's up, guys? We're here at Megamind Podcast. We are at the Mega Penthouse edition with Jackson from San Fran, the second best Amazon seller that I know.
Second best.
Shout out Will.
What's up, guys? Welcome.
But yeah, bros, I already talked to your other roommates and stuff, and they basically said you're gay.
They did say that.
No, but so what's up, Jackson? Like, how long you been in Miami, and where are you from originally, bro?
I've been in Miami a year and a half now. I moved to Miami in May 2023.
Why'd you move?
I moved because I was living. So I'll explain my story a little bit. So I grew up in San Francisco area. I grew up in Cupertino, which is where the Apple campus is. On the Apple, iPhone boxes, it says designed in Cupertino. That's what Cupertino is known for. And that's where I grew up. So I lived there 18 years. When I was 18 years old, I moved to San Diego with my cousin. I lived out there for 2 months. And then San Diego was a little slow. I wanted a little bit more excitement. So I decided to move to Austin, Texas, where I knew...
How was that?
It was good. I moved there knowing 0 people. I didn't know a single person there. So I just moved there. I was just like, I need to change my life.
Yeah.
And so I grew up homeschooled as well. Yeah. And so I didn't really know many people in general, but especially not in Austin, Texas. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to move to a new city where I know nobody. Go figure it out. I moved to Austin. I liked it for a while, like 6 months, and then I got boring. After 10 months of living there, I got bored, and I moved out of Austin. I moved back to San Diego, lived in San Diego for 6 months. Okay. And then I got bored of San Diego again. Yeah. And I was like, I need somewhere with more excitement, more stuff going on. And Miami seemed like I was debating either moving to LA or to Miami. Okay. And I was like, fuck it, like I'll go check out Miami. I flew out to Miami for like a week, checked it out, walked around the streets, saw a lot of people that I followed on social media. I'd follow them on Instagram, I'd follow them on Twitter, I'd see their YouTube videos, and then just seeing them in person and talking to them and the real people, cool people, I was like, I have to move here. Like this is like college campus for all the people that make money online. And so I decided right after that, I gotta move here. So I looked at places while I was out here, toured some units, and locked in my lease like that, and just moved. And when you first got here, I'm assuming, like, would you just walk into this penthouse, or like, nah, like, where'd you go first? Well, so I lived at SLS. Okay. And so I got a 1-bed there. And so I lived there for like 8 months, from May until December 1st. By yourself? Like no roommates, like? Or no, just by myself. Okay. Yeah. How was that? That was good. You like having roommates or not? So I had always lived with no roommates, and so I didn't think I could live with roommates because I just heard too many like horror stories from other people being like, these guys were friends and then they became roommates and now they hate each other. Like I'd known a bunch of people that had happened to. It's like they were like friends or kind of friends with somebody and they move in together because it's like makes sense because they want to live in the same area, and then it's like one person doesn't take out the trash ever, one person doesn't do the dishes, one person leaves fucking shit out, like music, people, whatever, always like disagreements on shit. Yeah. But living with Ben and Azrael, like it's like been perfect. Like the trio in the household is like wonderful. And so like now I'm like more open to living with roommates,
Oh yeah, like going forward. And no, I think it's good that you talk about that because a lot of times people don't even think about that when they're going to get a roommate. They think it's just gonna be pretty easy, and I've had roommates myself, so I know what you mean. Like where sometimes the roommate, like it can be the smallest thing, but like because like you're not living alone, and you know that you didn't do the thing, it tends to get irritating. So I can see how that is. But no, I mean you're right, bro. You, Azrael, and even when I met you and Ben, it was like y'all were very welcoming, even for me. Like just pulling up as the outsider. But what are the biggest differences between San Diego, where you come from, or like San Francisco, just even Cali, you can even include LA. What are the biggest differences between what you had going on in LA or what the city had going on versus Miami? Like what are the main differences you think?
So I can't speak on LA too much because I never really lived there. Okay. Like I've been to LA for like probably 10 times. I've been there for like a night or 2 nights type thing. So I've been there in total like 20 days in my life probably. Maybe a little more, but like living in like Palo Alto, like the Bay Area, it's more chill, it's more tech, it's a lot less e-commerce. Like nobody really like makes money online type thing. Like people want to go to Stanford and go to like good colleges and work at Google or LinkedIn or Apple. Like people want to, or start like companies, start like a
real like big company. Like
yeah, they want to do VC. They want to get VC funded. They want to raise. They want to get an office with people and an employee benefits type shit. Like Miami is like, how can I make money as fast as possible
without working a job?
Yeah, without it, they just don't want to work a job and they want to spend a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
You know, like Miami is like the perfect place for like somebody that has dynamic income, where the harder that you work, like the more, I don't know if dynamic's the right word, but like the harder that you work, the more you make. You know, like everybody that runs like e-commerce business or any sort of business, they can scale it. If you work at a job, you can't really like 10x your income at that job unless you become like a CEO, right? But that's gonna take like 10 years. You don't start at the beginning and then 10x in a year. It doesn't happen. But like with e-commerce, if you're like, fuck bro, I need this so bad, I'm gonna work 12, 15 hours a day to like get this done, because you want to be able to go to live and party with models and rent Lambos and, you know, get a penthouse and like do all this, like spend all this money. You want to go to you want the dinners, you want the yachts, you want the jets, you want the crazy lifestyle. You can spend that in Miami. If you wanted to spend like $200,000 like a month in San Francisco, I don't really know how you would do it, to be honest. Like you could.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's not a community of people that are doing that. Like you could rent a Lambo, you could get a nice spot, you could do all this kind of stuff, but like nobody really does that.
Versus here, it's like everybody, you see Lambos all the time.
Yeah, it's like, bro, if you don't have a Lambo, like, what are you doing? Like, if you're not going to the club like 3 times a month, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Or every night, right?
Yeah, it's like people are like, something must be wrong with him if he's not spending like crazy. Like, genuinely, that's how I feel about things. Like, if you're not spending a lot in Miami, you're not making a lot. In San Francisco, it's like, bro, there's billionaires that drive regular cars. It's like some just regular shit.
Like, they could have a fat ass VC, but they're driving a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah,
no
like
problem.
actually, I mean, or they'll drive just something like modest, like
Escalade or
Escalade, or like a just Mercedes, like GLE, something like that. Maybe a G-Wagon, but like billionaires that could afford many Bugattis, you know what I mean? That could have the private jets and all this sort of crazy shit. They just don't do it. It's like not the same culture.
Yeah, it's not the same. And that's what leads me to next is that Ben was saying the same thing about Austin. Is that in Austin, it's like, again, you're not going to see too many people on the e-commerce wave or necessarily, like, everybody either has a corporate job that they're working and that they're going into the office, or they're working from home, but they're working a job, right? Or like you said, they're either building a big ass company and, you know, that's what they're involved in. But you're not going to see too many, you know, solopreneurs or e-commerce people or, you know, people building like startups, you know, as much as you see here. So why do you think it is that in Miami people are so open-minded, like to doing things, versus all these other cities? Like, do you think politics or government plays a part, or do you think it just kind of happens randomly?
I think it's definitely like politics, weather, and culture here. Like Miami has been a party town for a while, and young people with money want to fucking party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that make a ton of money, young people that make a ton of money want to party. Like some dude that's 60 that makes a ton of money, I mean, like he still might want to party, but like most like older people, they're like, I'm too old for that shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm too old for the yachts and like the models and the bitches. Like they just want to like,
They may do
get
it
like
once.
a garden. They want a vineyard. They want to fucking, you know,
land.
They want some land. They want like fucking, you know, a terrace. You know, they want some different shit. They want assets maybe. But like, Miami just has had the culture of like, you know, the party city for so long. I feel like.
Do you think that helps, like, as far as making the income here?
Like in terms of like
the fact
it's
that
like the driving factor. Like, oh my god, I need to make this much money, so I'm gonna make it work type thing. Or
well, yeah, that is a huge part of it, but also like just the simple fact of like, okay, people come here from all over the world to party, right? So I think, like, for example, as a real working in the nightlife, right? We talked about this, but like how many people do you see even out here working nightlife and like just all these different industries that maybe you wouldn't have thought of back in Cali or in Texas? Like what are some of the most interesting industries that you've seen out here?
I mean, definitely like promoting. I didn't really know that much about like promoters or promoting in general before moving to Miami. I didn't know about like yacht rentals. I didn't know anything about that because it just doesn't really exist in San Francisco. Like it might, but it's not the culture.
Yeah.
I mean, either I just didn't know the right people, but I'm pretty sure it's just not the culture. Same in LA as well. Like I mean, you're just in the ocean. You know, there's not like the same kind of like calm waters that we have like in the Bay area.
So people are more like out surfing and doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Versus like yachts.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like people just don't spend money in those places. In LA, like people get like the cars, the watches. There's clubs. There's events to go to. Like, there's definitely rich people, and people do spend in LA.
Yeah.
Dinners, all that sort of stuff.
But not the same.
Not the same like Miami.
And do you think it has to do with the old people there? Like just because it's older people, or?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, it might be, but also just like it just has a different culture. Like I don't know how like that culture has been shaped, and I don't know how Miami's has got to be just like party city.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's just not as much the culture.
How many cities have you been to that are like Miami?
I mean, there's no other city that's like exactly like Miami for sure. Because every city has a different flavor to it, you know. But I mean, like in terms of like a party kind of city, I mean, I guess like thinking of the party genre, like I would think like it's tough to compare. But I'm just gonna say like Ibiza.
Okay.
I could say like Saint-Tropez, but Saint-Tropez is gonna be like a lot classier and like
Rich
it's
people
gonna
for
be
real.
yeah, it's like rich people, like trust fund, like people who parents have, like make a shit ton of money. Like it's super classy, like day clubs, stuff like that.
Now, sorry to veer off and cut you off. Did your family come from money? Like were you kind of well off though?
I mean, like my parents were fine. My dad worked he worked pricing at a pharmaceutical company.
Okay.
But like, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. So hence
So
why
I was homeschooled.
Yeah. Hence why you.
You know, but I mean, like my parents were like decent income, but nowhere near rich. You know, like my mom would shop at grocery outlet for our food. She would shop at Ross for food. You know, my parents are extremely frugal, like ridiculously, like coupons, like never buy anything, like everything on clearance, like shit like that. Like,
So you came up with kind of like seeing like that was normal. Like, okay, like when I go to the store, I gotta look for the clearance shit or.
big time. And I remember when I was like probably 13 or 14, I'd been selling like Yeezys and Jordan. That's kind of like when I was just starting to resell shoes, Yeezys, Jordans, that type stuff. I went to, where did I go first? I think I don't know. I probably bought some stuff at like Hot Topic. You know, like some bullshit like 21 Pilots T-shirt when that came out, like when was that? 2014, 2015, like.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Hot Topic even just was like, my mom was like, bro, it's just expensive in there. Like,
I mean, it's like $40 a T-shirt. It's like,
I mean, it's not crazy expensive, especially compared to like what I think is expensive now. But
yeah. Did I fuck it up? Kinda.
it's just a little hot.
That shit tweaking.
But yeah, it's like
$40 for like a T-shirt was like expensive when like my clothes were normally like $5, $7 at like Ross type thing, you know. And like buying $40 for like a T-shirt that's not like ultra good quality. It's just a screen print or however much it was. I don't remember.
No. I mean, it was
Like $30 for a fucking T-shirt, whatever, and not that that's expensive now, but like you said, maybe at that time, like bro, $30 for a T-shirt, especially if you're a regular 9-to-5 family or whatever, like it's not just as easy of an ask. But I think it's interesting that like Azarel, Ben, hearing his background, my background, like none of us really come from money, and I think that a lot of the people that are actually out here doing and winning and just having motion, a lot of the people that are here just didn't come from money. So how do you think that has helped you just shape your reality now, like versus if you would have come from money?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just be a lot less caring of things and for people, because I feel like when you come from money, and this isn't for everybody. Like I know people that come from money that are great people, but I don't know. I've seen examples of like people that come from money that like they're just not as like empathetic and just like hardworking on things as well. Because it's already there. It's kind of like a basic necessity, like a basic something you take for granted, pretty much. Like you don't really like. You feel like it's always going to be there, so you don't really worry about wasting it. In terms of like friendships, in terms of money, in terms of anything like that. Like it's almost like you're not worried about like dumping out a cup of water because you have running water.
Yeah, more water.
Yeah, there's infinite supply essentially. you know. And if you like come from money, you're like, oh, okay, like I'll just spend recklessly. It doesn't really matter.
Because
Yeah,
you don't think of the concept of earning because you just have.
Right.
So it's like if like you brought up a good example with the water, but even like air, right? We breathe air, but if somebody like took away our air supply, or like just cover your mouth, stop breathing, right? Like you're gonna gasp for air, right? Because that's the only thing that you think about in a position like that.
You're not gonna understand the value of it as much.
Mm-hmm. You just need it because you're about to die, right? And same thing with money, like you said, they don't understand the value. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I just need it because I'm gonna fucking die, or like I can't pay my bills, or whatever the case is. But I think it's important what you say, like, you know, it's important to have to work for something at an early age in order for you to see the value and how long did it take you to get to your level? Like, let's say your level was 0, right? You had $0 in the bank account or whatever. I'm sure you had a little bit of bread or whatever, but let's just pretend you had 0 in the bank account. What would you do in order to rebuild that now knowing what you know? Like, what's the first step?
I mean, bro, a huge thing, it's like super fucking corny. But like, really it is like, your network is your net worth, truly, in a sense, because like the more people that you know, especially like people that make money, like you'll know all these different people that make money all these sorts of different ways, and like if you know like 100 people that are making money, one person has like the craziest method that's working right now, you know, the craziest opportunity to run up for the next 6 months before it doesn't work anymore, whether it's like a drop shipping product that's just going crazy, whether it's like a, you know, meme coin, whether it's like a stock trading thing,
NFT.
whether it's like whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it is at the time. I mean, like I've had many opportunities where like something's really good for like a couple months and then it's no longer good, and like you just gotta seize those opportunities when they come. Like, bro, one thing like kind of off topic but not really. It's just like one thing is like I heard like a quote from Warren Buffett. It's like, instead of like when you're like doing stock investing, like it's best not to do like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Like you want to think in terms of like, what if there was only like 20 like stock trades that you could ever make in your life? You would make them very carefully, and you would make them big trades because you can only make 20 in your life. You know, you're gonna do your research. You're like, should I buy Chipotle? Should I buy Starbucks? Should I buy Nvidia? Should I buy Apple? You're gonna research, do all this kind of stuff, and you're gonna buy a big portion of it. You know, you're gonna go full in on that opportunity because you think this is the best opportunity at hand. You go full in on it. It either works or it doesn't, and then you go into the next one. You're just like full speed on it.
Full speed.
Right. Like I know too many people that do a little bit of a lot of businesses. They do a little drop shipping, a little promoting, and a little this and a little that, like all these different things, you know. And you know, then they're just not like fantastic at one specific thing.
Yeah.
And like for the people that I know that are like just, I mean, the crypto people specifically are kind of like stay in the house all the time. I wouldn't want the crypto bro like lifestyle. Yeah. But like the people that are like full drop shipping, full stock trading, full info product, full whatever it is, like those people go the furthest, you know? And so like, I feel like having like a big network starting over, I would just go full in on something, like lock the door, 6 months, grind on that thing until like I figure that one thing out, and then I'm the X guy, I'm the stock trader, I'm the, you know, when you think of me as my personality, I'm the guy that does this, you know, I'm the crypto guy.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, just like having an identity to what it is that you do. No, you're right, because a lot of times people I can even include myself in that sometimes, where it's like I have so much going on, so many different businesses going on, and then sometimes I find myself in that position where it's like, fuck, I really just need to dial in on one side. For me, I think, you know, one of the biggest things that has helped me as well is network. I mean, I think my network, when you think in terms of like value, right, and how much your network is actually worth, okay, I mean, for me, I think that's where my biggest leverage point is just simply like, if I was to, you know, go through the top 5 contacts in my phone, right, and take their net worth, I feel that it would be difficult for someone else to be able to necessarily match the same weight, right? Because like what you said, I mean, your network is really your net worth, as corny as it sounds. But you know, for me, it was selling, right? I learned a skill set in corporate America, which was selling, I scaled, and what you said, like it never really happens where you're gonna 10x your income in less than a year. I was fortunate enough that I did lock the door for 6 months when I was selling cars, right? And I did dial in and read and study and train and fucking get a bunch of essentially doors slammed in my face. And then within 5 months, I was able to go from making $10 an hour at Domino's Pizza to making $250 a year in finance. But I didn't even know I was capable of doing finance until I locked the door, like you said, for that first 6 month period. And I just sold, and I was there at work every day, and I didn't fucking leave, and I didn't fucking go out early, and I stayed late, and I helped the other people without getting compensated, all the shit within 5 months. And I didn't even have a plan to get 10x my income.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be of value to the company.
Yeah.
And with that, I was able to surpass everyone else because everyone else was just going to collect a check.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that that people do that, as far as like, even if they are working a 9 to 5, like to be the absolute best employee at that company, because not only could you get an opportunity for promotion or whatever, but you will see what your skill set is worth to the market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So taking the 6 months, finding a skill set, and saying, you know what, this is gonna be my skill set. I'm gonna be known for the Amazon guy in your case, right? Like, So talk to me about Amazon. Who have been your biggest influences, and then how did you even get into the business of Amazon? I know that there was a period where it was hot.
Yeah. I mean, I got into it like 2.5 years ago, almost 3 now, and I mean, like just seeing some of these guys that do Amazon, I kind of like learned about it, and got into the business, and I mean, it's been great. It's like I used to sell shoes before, so I was selling like.
You were a reseller, right?
Yeah, I was reselling, and so like I would sell like.
J's or whatever.
Yeah, Jordans, YZYs, all that kind of stuff. And then like in 2021, when that started dying, like I knew I had to like switch business models, and so I got into Amazon after that.
Okay.
Because I was used to buying, selling products, so it was similar concept, different products, different marketplace, but it was the same concept of buy sell. Because I would go like for shoes, I would go on Foot Locker and Nike, buy Jordans, and then sell it to either contacts that I had or on StockX.
Okay.
And then with Amazon, the same thing. It's just like go online, find products that are on discount, whether it's on Ulta Beauty or Walmart or wherever, and just buy things like cheap when they're on sale, on coupons, and then sell it on Amazon.
So how much do you think that your parents actually helped you in your Amazon business now that you look back on it? Based on what you just said right there, like looking for the right products, not just buying shit just because you got it.
That my parents helped me with?
Well, I'm saying like the lessons per se, right? Because like, for example, you did come up seeing like your mom and your dad buying shit on clearance, couponing, doing all this stuff, and like just being, like you said, they were overly frugal.
Yeah.
But maybe some of those skill sets or maybe some of those traits kind of were seeped into you, where you're like, okay, you're looking at a load or an order that you're about to put on Amazon, and then you're doing the due diligence to see if there's a better deal out there, whatever the case may be. Do you relate that to maybe what was instilled in you as a kid?
Probably not. I don't think I would like take anything like from like that sort of aspect, but like definitely my parents helped me with my entrepreneurial journey. When I was like, so like I started getting to like entrepreneurship in a sense like when I was like 8 years old. My brother, who's 3 years younger than me, he was 5 at the time, and he was asking my dad. He was like, "Dad, can I want to get like a Lego Batman, little Lego Batman figure." He's like, "Okay, like let's see how much it is." And my dad goes on eBay and sees. He's like, "Damn, like these Lego Batman figures are $20 for this little freaking Lego piece that costs 10 cents to make."
Yeah.
My dad is like, "How is this possible? How is this much?" And so my dad realized that like Legos, like some people buy it and then like years later it goes up in value because they stop making it.
Yeah.
And all this sort of stuff. Like so, just like understanding the Lego market, like how Legos work and they resell and all that kind of stuff. And so we would start going to garage sales. Just like go on Saturday, garage sale, Craigslist or whatever, drive around the neighborhood, look for the signs, garage sale.
Yeah.
And go to garage sales that people had and look for Legos. And people would sell like buckets of Legos. And we would buy the buckets of Legos for like, I don't know, $20 for the whole bucket.
Okay.
And then we would take out the minifigures and sell the minifigures for like, $50 or $100. And then the rest of the Legos we'd sell for like $50. So we'd turn like 10, $20 into like $150, $200, something like that, And we just kept doing that like for like years. So between the age of 8 till I was like working for my dad, like when he was doing that. And like he was kind of doing this like I guess like a little thing to like make
Side hustle.
like make a little extra money, and then I don't know if this is true or not, but I'd like to like infer this is like my dad was like helping to instill like
the
the
entrepreneurial
entrepreneurial thing
mindset.
into me and my brother. I don't think that was actually his purpose, but
Yeah.
like I'll just say that.
You'll give him that credit.
I'll give my dad that credit for sure. And you know, I was working for my dad, and he would pay me, I think $6 an hour, and then like I asked for a raise to $8 an hour to help him like go to the garage sales and negotiate, sort out the pieces,
Yeah.
pack orders to ship it, stuff like that. And then I started using the money that I earned, like for like working for him,
Yeah.
to start buying Legos. So then I would buy my own at the garage sales and then sell it, and I would make more money from that. When I was 13, I'd saved up like $2,000.
Oh
And
shit.
I thought I was balling, bro.
Like,
At
you were
13,
balling at
I was
13,
like,
bro.
yo, I got $2 grand.
Yeah, I don't know,
Like-
13-year-old with 2 G's.
Like I was like, bro, like I can buy a PS4. That's like the only thing I wanted, honestly.
Yeah.
And
5 of those bitches.
I know, I was like, damn, I'm fucking balling. I was like, Dad, like I really want a PS4 for my birthday, whatever. And he's like, oh, okay. Like I was like, I don't know, it's expensive. It's like $400. And I found like one on Craigslist that came with like a bunch of games that was used, and it was like a great deal. And I negotiated that dude like mad down, but it came out to like I think $410 is what I got the price down to.
Uh-huh.
And my dad was like, okay, I'll pay half. So then he paid $205 and I paid $205 for the PS4.
Did he know how much money you had?
Yeah. I mean, he controlled my bank account. You know,
So you didn't have it like in a piggy bank.
no.
or
And
nothing?
like my dad was making more over the course of like 4 years or
Yeah.
5 years basically, from 8 to 13. You know, from that when he was like, yeah, you have like $2 grand or whatever, and then I was like, damn, like now I can actually like buy stuff. You know, it's like crazy. And I took that 2,000 and then I started buying Yeezys when they would come out. So I would buy like I remember my first Yeezy drop. Like there was an app called Adidas Confirmed,
Okay.
which is where like Adidas would like release like Yeezys on their side.
Like
and it
pre the actual release or what?
Yeah, no, just like just when the release would come out.
Okay.
But like it was like 3 days before the shoes would come out. They would have like the app, and you'd have to like it would be like 3, 2, 1, and you'd have to like tap super fast, and the like fastest 1,000 people to tap could like get the shoe at the store that was closest to them.
Oh.
So I remember like tapping super fast, and I got the shoe, and I got the pair, and I was like, holy shit! Like I got this pair because retail was like $230, and it was gonna resell for like $550 or $600, and I was like, holy shit! Like I can't believe like I got this for retail. Like I'm
lit.
Yeah, like I feel like I just won the lottery. Like
Yeah.
I legitimately, I called my grandma, bro. I called my grandma. I was like, Grandma, like I won the lottery. Like I'm just like bought this shoe that's worth like $400 more than I paid for it. And you know, in my mind, $400 is like crazy. You know?
Off of one flip.
Yeah, like I had like $2,000 roughly like at the time to like increase my net worth by like 25% in a day.
Yeah.
It was crazy to me. It took me 5 years to make that money.
Yeah.
And I just increased my net worth by 25% in that like that 1 second pretty much that I got that.
So after that money, like after you got the shoes, did you flip them? You ended up flipping them?
Yeah, I sold them.
Okay. So what was that feeling when you finally got that 400? Like, okay, what did that do to you mentally? Like, what did you do next?
It was lit, bro. I got it, and I just like kept wanting to go for the Yeezy releases, and so I kept going. I started like using like sneaker bots, and so I would use like automated software. I got a bot on my computer to buy Supreme. It was called Task Bot. If anybody knows that bot, you're OG. But that was like a bot like it was for Mac only. So
Okay.
I had to buy like a MacBook to be
Yeah.
able to like use that. I use my dad's MacBook actually to run it.